Hello everyone, my name is Owen Maskintama and today I will be presenting about the gray area within the scope of patent law and 3D printing. So the history of this idea. A few weeks ago I was surfing around YouTube and then I stumbled across a video titled Plastic Defense, Illegal 3D Printed Guns in Europe, made by Popular Front. It's about the production of firearms by printing parts of the gun using a 3D printer. So at the end of the end product, um, the gun is around 80 to 90% made out of 3D printed plastic. After watching this, I began to wonder the legality of 3D printed firearms or maybe other technologies that can be 3D printed in the eyes of patent law. The background of this research idea. Of course, I conducted several research regarding the idea of 3D printed things, and after thorough research, I found out that there is a somewhat legally ambiguous area or gray area regarding 3D printed things. Yeah, the ambiguity lies on several clauses or limitations. First is whether the 3D printed things are considered a quote unquote product. This is because the product means that the production was centralized or from a manufacturer or a factory. Since in 3D printing, the manufacturers are end users themselves, therefore, the production is decentralized. Moreover, since it is hard to define whether 3D prints are a quote unquote product or not, subsequently, there is also a legal ambiguity regarding the enforcement of 35 USC Section 271 regarding patent rights infringement. And as aforementioned, that the production is decentralized, therefore these 3D prints are not technically quote unquote sold for the masses. Ergo, it is hard to find the direct infringement. Now, even though patent rights patent right owners could argue that they could held liable 3D printer users. However, it would be unfeasible for patent owners to know which person that downloaded and used the computer aided design or CAD files. And also the nature of the CAD files itself are not subject to patentable material because in 3D printing, the subject for a patent is the innovation when the file is transformed into a physical 3D object, whilst the CAD files are subject to copyrightable material. Besides, it is easy to just quote unquote manipulate or tweak these CAD files in order for one to evade patent infringement. Furthermore, patent rights owners can also hold liable CAD file owners for an indirect infringement. These CAD file owners are first owners, of course. However, this would also be hard for them to find evidences since CAD files are not the same with making, using, or selling the 3D prints. They could also use the argument of induced infringement or contributory infringement as a form of an indirect infringement. However, these arguments is hard to be proven also because by just simply owning a CAD file does not mean that it is equivalent to the component of the device, not equal to owning component of the device. It is just merely owning a digital representation of it. Now, it is clear that there is a gray area surrounding the subject because it is hard to determine whether one is actually infringing a patent right. For example, it is hard to determine which cat file came from where and from who, and if people could just tweak the cat files a bit to avoid the infringement, as aforementioned before, then there is a huge hole of gray area in defining whether legal or illegal 3D printings are in the eyes of patent law. Therefore, I propose an idea. I would like to create a website or an app where people can join a certain group that share CAD files of technologies. For example, technologies of charger adapters, watches, phone casing, even maybe firearms, along those kind of technologies. Essentially, it works like a secure forum where it has the capability to which people can share blueprints, quote unquote blueprints, of technologies and combinations of those technologies or etc. That people could print out using their own 3D printers at their home or wherever they are. Well, it is clearly legal because the app itself is revolutionary and it fulfills the new and useful aspect of 35 USC 101. However, it can also be illegal since the innovation inside the files or like in the CAD files or others that are shared inside the app are patent protected. Additionally, patent holders of these technologies can have a bit of a hard time, as I've mentioned before, to prove that someone is liable for their patent infringement because the share files and the productions are decentralized. So, in other words, like mentioned before, it technically the product was never sold, and the legality of this app and this perspective is therefore ambiguous. Thank you.